So, you're Melody, right? The woman who moved in recently. Do I have the right number? Excuse me? Yes, that's me, but who are you? Are you kidding me? It's Agnes. Didn't you read the list of contact information for the other parents that was posted on the parents' chat group? You've got no excuse not to have my name and phone number saved in your contacts list yet. Agnes, oh, right. If I recall correctly, you were the woman wearing nothing but expensive brand clothing and carrying 2 designer purses for whatever reason? Yeah, duh. Who else but me has that kind of fashion sense in this podunk little town? Glad you finally remembered. Oh, so it was you then. Yeah, I don't suppose I'll ever be able to forget you, especially after you randomly started throwing punches at me. Randomly? Don't pretend like you didn't deserve every single punch I threw your way, you little brat. It was exactly what you deserved for having the nerve to talk back to me. You were smoking right in the middle of the park with dozens of kids around and a clearly posted no smoking sign. You were literally standing right next to it. Rules are for commoners, not for me. I can smoke wherever I want. Anyway, don't ever forget who I am again, got it? Trust me, Agnes, the first impression you left on me is one that will last a lifetime. Right, I have a total superstar aura. That's exactly what makes me the boss around here. The boss? What do you mean? Oh, you are so lucky you're new here, or else I would have given you another couple punches for being so stupid as to ask me that question. So here's the deal. I'm the boss. That's it. Simple, right? I'm the boss, and all the other moms at the school do what I say, when I say. And if you don't like it, well, you might just have a little run-in with my associates. Okay, I'll bite. Who are your associates? Let me put it to you this way. You don't want to know who my associates are. I see you're fully committed to beating around the bush as much as possible. Tell you what, do you really want to know? Don't say I didn't warn you, but if you ask any of the other moms at the school, they'll let you in on the nitty-gritty. Then you'll know just how powerful I am. And that's all the hints you'll be getting, so don't bother asking for more. Now, be a good little girl, do your homework, and never, ever talk back to me again if you know what's good for you. Capiche? Hey there, Kendra. Hope you're doing well today. Are you busy right now? There's something I wanted to talk to you about. Hi, Melody. Sure, I'm free right now. What's up? I really hate to drag you into this, but I just moved back into town after being away for a long time, and today was my son's first day in his new daycare. I was invited to the group chat for all the parents at the school, and then all of a sudden I was given a rather forceful introduction to a woman who calls herself the boss mom. Oh, you cannot be serious. She is still going around calling herself that, huh? Oh, by the way, what daycare are you sending your son to? The same one I went to when I was a kid? Wow, really? Well, that's pretty cool. It must bring back a lot of memories for you. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I was a bit surprised they had any openings, to be honest. I must have just moved back at a really lucky time. For real, lucky you. Anyway, about the woman you were talking about, there's only one woman I know who would introduce herself as Boss Mom. You know her? Yeah, kinda. The queen of branded clothing, the empress of carrying around 2 designer purses just to show off. Her Royal Majesty, Boss Mom Agnes. Right. Okay, so it's not just me who thinks it's super weird to carry 2 massive purses. Well, that's great to know. Agnes moved into town with her whole family a little bit after you got married and moved away. They're in different grades, but her oldest child is attending the same school as mine. And yeah, she is every bit the boss mom over there, too. I've never in my entire life seen someone who refers to themselves as boss mom. It's so cringe. I know. The secondhand embarrassment is really bad. Oh, and by the way, for whatever reason, she's been working really hard to get me to become friends with her. Believe me, though, I have absolutely 0 intentions of becoming best buddies with her. Yuck. Man, the more I hear about this woman, the less I want to do with her. But her whole boss mom thing, that's not, like, a real thing, is it? I mean, she only sees herself as that, right? None of the other moms actually let her boss them around or anything. Yep, that's exactly right. So, is there a reason you're asking me about her? Like, did something happen? Is she giving you crap about something? It's a bit more than that, actually. She punched me.
What?
She was literally standing directly next to a no smoking sign. My first thought was that she was doing one of those prank YouTube videos or something, but no, she was for real. I asked her to stop smoking and she immediately started swinging. She only managed to land one on my cheek, which is a little swollen, but not too bad. I was just about to walk away, but some other woman who was standing there started freaking out and called an ambulance for me. It turned out that I did cut the inside of my mouth a little bit, so I went to the doctor later that afternoon and got him to write up an official doctor's report for my injury. Wait a minute, you're telling me she punched you right in the face, and you didn't punch back? Not even once? Yeah, well, when you're someone like me, you have to be really careful about who you choose to defend yourself against. It can get ugly really quick. Oh, yeah, good point. I could tell from the way she was swinging that she'd never had any actual training or done much of any real fighting at all. She just caught me off guard is all. Sure, I didn't feel great to let her get the last laugh, but I figured that just taking the L and walking away would be a better option than fighting back and getting the police involved. Man, you have nerves of steel, Melody. I could never let her get away with that. Well, the more important reason for not fighting back was that both of our kids were there at the park with us that day. I didn't want them or the other kids to have to deal with the trauma of watching two fully grown adults fighting each other in broad daylight. Yeah, I guess you're right. But anyway, getting back to the main point of the conversation, would you mind telling me a bit more about this Agnes woman? I have a few more questions I'd like to ask you. All right, well then would you like to come over and have a cup of tea with me? Oh, I have a better idea. My cousin owns an adorable little cafe down on Main Street. Do you want to go there? I know you'll love it. I've always wanted to get the opportunity to take you there one day. Oh, really? Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm in. When and where should we meet up? I'll go ahead and swing by your house and pick you up. Would me getting there in about a half hour work for you? Yep, I'll be waiting. Melody, what the hell do you think you're doing? I know you're trying to get Kendra to be your friend, but it's not gonna work, so don't bother. What would be the point in being your friend anyway? You're nobody, and I'm the boss mom. Kendra is really something else, though. Listen to this. A while back, there was a woman at the daycare who was giving Kendra all sorts of trouble, and you know who stepped in to get her to lay off? The Patrellis family. Oh, that's right. You probably don't know about the Patrellis family. The Patrellis family is a very influential family around these parts. They own a bunch of different companies, but those are all fronts for their real operations. Trust me, you do not want to get on their bad side. Bad things happen to those who get on their bad side. But get on their good side? The world is your oyster, baby girl. And Kendra just so happens to be friends with the daughter of the patriarch of the Patrellis family. I have no idea how someone who just rolled into town a few weeks ago like you has already met someone as influential as Kendra. But you'd better not be getting any big ideas about her, got it? She'll never be your friend, ever. And even if you somehow did manage to get on her good side, it's not going to mean anything about the relationship between you and me. I'm still boss mom, capiche? Oh, would you please stop going on and on about this? I am so bored. Look, Kendra happens to be an old friend of mine. We've known each other since we were little kids. Huh? As if I was ever going to believe that. How could you possibly have known her since you were kids? You just moved into town a few weeks ago. Yeah, I've been living in another city for a while, but I was born here. This is my hometown. The house I grew up in is just a little ways down the road from my new house. You can keep telling that BS story as long as you want, but I ain't buying, sister. And I ain't selling, sister. After I got married, I moved in with him in his house because that was where he needed to be for work. But he just got transferred to a nearby branch office this spring. So I figured it would be a good opportunity to come back and see all the people I've been missing for several years. Oh my God, you are really committed to this bit, aren't you? I told you, I don't believe it for 1 second. You're free to believe what I'm telling you or not. I don't really care. Actually, you know what? Keep on doubting me. That's gonna make what happens next way funnier. What are you even talking about? You're such a weirdo loser, Melody. Looks like you've left me with no choice. I didn't want to have to play this card so early on, but I think you still don't know who it is you're up against with me, so let me give you one final warning. If you report what happened yesterday to the police, you're going to be sleeping with the fishes by sundown. Sleeping with the fishes? Interesting. That's the sort of thing that people in mobster movies say. Are you trying to tell me you have connections to the local underworld? Oh, I guess you're not as dumb as I thought. You've got that right, girlie. I'm a bona fide member of the local mafia. Oh, you are you? So, by sleep with the fishes, do you mean get passed out drunk at a sushi restaurant or something? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, it's just that you're claiming to be a mafia member to try and get me to not report a minor incident of assault and battery, and it's just so pathetically lame. Hey, you can't talk to me like that. I am dead serious. I am a member of the mafia. And not just any old member, my husband's the underboss. I guess I need to show you how serious I am. I think I might just have to go and have a talk with the Godfather myself. He'll send one of our enforcers by to teach you some manners. Maybe a couple weeks in the hospital might be enough to show you once and for all that this is my town. I'm the boss mom, and you will do what I say when I say. I warned you that this would happen, Melody, but you just didn't listen. Okay, I've officially run out of patience. So let me get this straight. You're going to go talk to the Godfather and have him send one of his enforcers to assault me. Is that it? How about I save you both the trouble? Let's go and see him together right now. You and me. Wait, but... Did you hear me? I just told you I want to see the Godfather. Well, take me to see him. Actually, I was just in the middle of a thing, and I need to head over to a place in just a few minutes, so now's not a good time. Okay, then I'll go see him myself. Where's he live? Well, he lives over by the Central Park. His house is the biggest one in the whole town. I see. Well, I know where that is, so thanks for letting me know. Hey, wait! You're not really gonna go there, are you? Kendra, this is bad. I am in big trouble, really big trouble. I need your help, Kendra. You've got to do something. What do you want from me, Agnes? We're nowhere near good enough friends for you to be calling me in a pinch like this. I would rather do literally anything else than help you out of whatever trouble you've gotten yourself into, so could you please ask someone else, anyone else? But you don't understand. There's a new woman in town who's pretending to be an old friend of yours, and she's just about to go storm into the Patrellis family mansion downtown. Huh? There's someone pretending to be a friend of mine? I saw the two of you together today. You were sitting together at that tacky cafe on Main Street. I figured she invited you there in a failed attempt to impress you. You're saying you saw a woman together with me at a cafe, and you still didn't believe her when she said we were friends? All right, then. You're talking about Melody, right? Yes, that's her. And you're saying that Melody's about to go to the Patrellis family mansion? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, then what on earth are you acting so upset about? Do I need to tell you? Seriously, Agnes, what's your problem? Is this really something to be getting so worked up about? But, let me start over. I don't think you understand. Melanie is about to storm into the house of the biggest mafia family in the entire state. She's gonna get herself killed. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. You tried to pull your "my husband's the underboss of the local mafia" routine on her, didn't you? Well, maybe. So that's a yes. My guess is she called you on your bluff and asked for the Godfather's address. And you told her about the Patrellis mansion near Central Park. Do I have all of that right? How did you know about all of that? She told me about it herself. She's sitting right next to me. What? She is? But why? Why would you waste your time on that pathetic little nobody? She just came into town a few weeks ago. She doesn't deserve your company. You should be hanging out with me. I'm the boss mom. You make a strong case, but I'll stick with Melody, thanks. After all, Melody and I have known each other since we were both little kids. You mean she was telling the truth? If you were paying attention, you could have figured that out quite some time ago by yourself. I don't believe it. She actually was friends with you? And one more thing. I know that you're only trying to become my friend because you heard the rumors that the Patrellis family worked their magic in order to get one of the other moms at my kids' daycare to stop being such a nuisance. It's all just part of your scheme to add some weight to your self-described position of boss mom, am I right? Well, you see, it's just that, well, we boss moms have to stick together, don't we? You're the boss mom at your school, and I'm the boss mom at mine, so I figured we could do some boss mom networking. First off, I am not a boss mom. Second, all you've been doing is threatening people into doing what you want by saying that your husband is some big shot in the mafia. Have you really not noticed that nobody believes that story? Not one single person? Yes, they do! No, they don't. No one thinks you're actually the boss mom, whatever that bogus title means. Well, be that as it may, until someone else comes to challenge my position, I am still the only official boss mom at my child's daycare. And Melody has been nothing but disrespectful to me since the first day she moved in. So I suppose I'll leave her to her own devices. If she wants to storm into the house of the biggest mobster in the state, then she can go ahead and get herself killed. See if I care. If she's lucky, maybe they'll let her off with just breaking her legs. Maybe some time in a wheelchair will teach her not to cross me. Would you like to know what Melody's maiden name is? It's Patrellis. What? Patrellis? Do you mean that Patrellis? Melody is the one who used her connections in the Patrellis family to get that awful woman to stop keying my car and pay me the damages she owed me for all the repairs I had to do. No, I don't believe this. Are you saying? Yes, that's precisely what I'm saying. Melody is the daughter of the godfather of the Patrellis family. That's impossible! It's true, though. So you might have been trying to trick her into getting hurt by telling her to go to the Patrellis family mansion, but for her, that's just a normal trip home to see her parents and friends. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what have I done? Looks like you're finally realizing just how big of a mistake you've made. This is the end of the line for me. I'm done for. What's going on, Melody? There is a black panel van outside of my house and a bunch of huge guys in suits just stepped out. They're walking this way. It's the Patrellis family, isn't it? What have I done to deserve this? While Kendra was busy keeping Agnes busy with all those text messages, I was making a phone call of my own. Not to my father or anything, it was to Agnes's husband. Fortunately, his name was also on the emergency contact list for the school, so I dialed him up and gave him a quick rundown of the situation. He ran straight down to the Patrellis family mansion to see my father, kissed his ring, and apologized profusely for his wife's behavior. A few days later, he served her with divorce papers. From what I heard, her husband was given full custody of all of their children. While that was going down, Agnes's parents came in from out of state to talk to my father, and he made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Not because he was threatening them, but because it was just way too good of an offer to pass up. And that offer was directly connected to the text Agnes sent me about the black panel van pulling up to her house. I think that's going to be the last text she sends to me or anyone else for a very long time. With the double shot of child support payments to her husband and punitive damages for punching me, she'll be working at one of the many fine Patrellis family businesses until she's in her 70s to pay all of that off. I hope she'll learn her lesson between now and then, but I'm doubtful.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey Travis, is this a good time?
Hey there, Emily. Sure, I'm good right now.
First off, I'm glad to hear you were released from the hospital.
Thanks, it's great to be out.
And you're coming back home tonight, right?
Yep, I'm actually almost at the station already.
That's great.
Yeah, I should be getting there right on schedule at about 4:30.
I'll come and pick you up.
Thanks, Emily.
Seriously though, collapsing on the job from overwork? That's just insane. When I heard that you were taken to the hospital in an ambulance from your office, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. And that's not even your regular assignment. You were only transferred from the main office temporarily because the branch office was short-staffed. And here I am, your fiancé, unable to come and see you because you're so far away. I feel so bad I haven't been able to support you, Travis.
You don't need to feel bad about anything, Emily. I'm sorry I made you so worried about me, but I'm fine now. I'll be going back to my regular duties at the main office next week, so I'll be able to relax and get back into the swing of things at my own pace. Plus, I think this experience has given me some great insights that the company can use going forward related to creating a positive working environment. So when I think about it, there are actually plenty of silver linings to me being in the hospital.
Oh, Travis, you're such an optimist. Oh, and by the way, there was something my dad wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, what is it?
He wants to know if you have some free time tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't go back to work until next week, so tomorrow should be fine.
Apparently there's something he wants to ask you to do before you go back to your regular job at the main office.
Really? Any idea what it is?
He said he'll give you all the details when he sees you tomorrow. He was planning on meeting up with you for lunch if that worked for you.
Sure, that'll be fine. When should I head over there? Around 11:30 or so?
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll let my dad know you're coming. Excuse me, I'm looking for Travis. Is this the correct number?
Yep, that's me. I presume this is Ms. Butler, right? I'm actually on my lunch break right now, but is there something I can help you with?
My understanding is that this is your very first day working at the main office after being assigned to a branch office, right? And you collapsed from overwork while there?
Yes, that's right. Although to be more precise, it was only a temporary assignment at that branch office.
Temporary?
Yes, I was originally stationed at the main office. For a number of reasons, I was temporarily stationed at the branch office in Fieldsburg for a few months, but boy, I had no idea how heavy the workload was going to be. Right before I was scheduled to end my assignment in Fieldsburg and come back to the main office, well, I kind of just collapsed all of a sudden and was in the hospital for 3 weeks.
I see. However, I don't understand how you could have had that hard of a workload.
Honestly, it was a big surprise to me, too.
If I had to venture a guess, the only reason you were sent to that pathetic little branch in the middle of nowhere was because you were nothing but dead weight at the main office in the first place. That's the only reasonable explanation. Only an incompetent slacker would be overworked in such an unimportant position. Of course, I suppose there's always the possibility that you simply faked your health scare in order to avoid having to do your job.
No, I wasn't faking it. I was actually pretty sick. They wouldn't have kept me there for 3 weeks before releasing me if that weren't the case.
In any case, it seems as though you managed to spend your entire morning simply going around and talking with the heads of each department. Do you really think someone in your low position has any need or reason to do that? I expect you to be doing your actual job in the afternoon. Hey, Travis. Well, it's been a few days. How's it going back at the main office? Are you getting along all right?
Well, let's just say I had a less than pleasant encounter with a colleague.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good. What happened?
Do you know a female manager named Butler?
Oh, yeah, I do. She got transferred to the main office from a local branch office around the same time you came back from the hospital. She's actually pretty well known around here for, well, a couple of reasons. First, getting appointed to a high-level managerial position at 38 years old like she was is pretty rare here. So her superiors apparently saw some sort of potential in her. But she also has a rather, how should I put this? Let's call it a strong personality.
Yeah, that sounds about right. To be honest, though, we've been working together in the same office for the last several days, but I haven't really seen anything from her in either her work or personality that would merit her being placed in a high leadership position.
Really? What makes you say that?
So, this is something that happened on my first day back. All I had planned for that day was making the rounds and speaking to the heads of all the departments in the morning, then straightening out my desk and getting things organized in the afternoon. But once I got back from my lunch break, there was this absolute mountain of papers stacked on my desk with a note on top saying, "Get these to me by the end of the day." I mean, really? I hadn't even had the time to turn on my computer yet, so this wasn't something that I was going to be able to get done that day at all. But that wasn't even the worst part. Then I picked up some of the folders and checked their contents. It looks like Butler had started working on a bunch of it, but they were full of spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, miscalculations. It was awful.
Yikes, that's not good.
And the other people in the department were pretending to be working intently on one thing or another, but they weren't actually getting much done. It's like they were putting on a show.
Now that you mention it, I did hear a rumor about your department. Apparently, when you walked into the office this morning, all the other people in the department started trembling. Everyone except for Butler, that is.
I'd imagine that's because I did the unimaginable. The official narrative was that I had been sent over to the Fieldsburg branch as a form of unofficial punishment. No one who gets sent there ever comes back, so it was kind of like they were seeing a ghost.
Yeah, or a zombie or something.
And by the way, don't worry about those guys. I've got my eye on all of them. I even managed to get a couple of apologies out of them for what happened before.
That's my Travis. You work fast.
That's what they pay me for. Still, though, it would be for the best to remain cautious for the foreseeable future.
I can't say I'm surprised, Travis. You put the bare minimum effort required into the assignments you were given and spent the rest of your time playing around on your computer.
Excuse me, Ms. Butler. We work on the same floor and your desk is barely halfway across the room from mine. Can I ask why you're texting me instead of coming to my desk and speaking to me in person?
Unbelievable. You really don't get that I'm trying to avoid disturbing the other employees?
Nope, I really don't get it. When I saw your text, I assumed that it must have been something urgent, but that doesn't seem to be the case, so what can I do for you?
What happened to the work I left for you earlier this week?
If you're referring to the massive pile of folders you dumped on my desk, none of that is any of my responsibility in the first place, so I passed them along to the people you should have given them to.
You did what?
Furthermore, the number one priority for me for the next several days is the creation of a report from my time over at the Fieldsburg branch. Didn't you get the memo?
Oh, don't patronize me. Of course I got that thing. However, I am the senior manager of this department, and as such, you take your orders from me and no one else. Your number one priority is whatever I tell you it is. Good grief, how incompetent can you be? I can't take it anymore. You're through. I don't need any more old men in my life just taking up space. You're fired.
Old?
You're 32, aren't you? Well, that's old enough for me to call you old.
All right, well, I suppose you're free to see me as being old if you like, but what makes you think you can fire me? Senior managers don't have that sort of authority.
What's that? You think that just because I'm a woman that I have no authority in the company? Oh, let me assure you, someone as elite as myself is more than capable of ending your career. Clear out your desk. You'll receive your pink slip in the mail within the week.
Is that so? Well, that's unfortunate. I got called an old man by a 38-year-old woman.
What? Let me guess, it was Butler, right?
You guessed it.
Wow, well, if she thinks that you're an old man at 32, I can't imagine what she must think of the married man she's dating right now.
Oh boy. Does that mean...
You guessed it. The investigation is still kind of ongoing, but I can confirm with full confidence that all the rumors are 100% accurate.
Well, looks like we have all we need.
All that we need and more.
Then I suppose it's time to make our move.
Oh, this is getting really exciting. Travis, what's the meaning of this? You've got a lot of explaining to do. I told the HR director to process your termination, but when I opened an envelope sent to me from his desk today, I wasn't expecting your pink slip. It was mine?
Why do you seem so surprised? The fact that you're texting me to complain about this right now would imply that you've at least seen the recent HR department announcement.
Well, yes, I saw it, but it doesn't make any sense. Why are you the new head of the corporate HR department? I mean, what happened to the previous director?
The same thing that's happening to you right now, Ms. Butler. He's been terminated.
Terminated?
I don't think I need to explain why a senior manager and former HR director having an extramarital affair together would lead to this outcome, Ms. Butler.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Is that so? Well, regardless, we've been investigating the two of you.
You can't be serious.
It's bad enough that you personally sought out an affair with a married man, but to make matters far worse, the former HR director then used his position within the company to give professional favors to you, his mistress.
I knew that's what this was all about. You think that a woman could never make it in the business world without sleeping with her boss.
Ms. Butler, I've worked with, under, and above many talented women in my career, and after working with you for all this time, I can say with confidence that you are not one of them.
You wouldn't know talent if it came up and slapped you in the face. You think I was promoted illicitly? Well, what about yourself? How did a low-level employee like yourself all of a sudden get promoted to HR director? Which one of your bosses are you sleeping with,
I was an assistant director before, so I was already just one promotion away from the position.
You were the assistant HR director at your age?
I skipped college and started working right after high school, so I have a substantial leg up on people in my age group in years of experience. It also probably has something to do with the fact that I've been with this company since it was founded.
You joined this company straight out of high school?
Yep. My family's circumstances made it difficult for me to go to college, so I'd already planned on not going. With a bit of luck, I managed to earn the respect of the current company president, so he brought me into the company, and, well, the rest is history.
Hold on just 1 minute. If you were really such a promising employee, then why on earth were you shipped off to the Fieldsburg branch? Everyone knows that's where the company sends all the people who they can't fire to keep the damage they cause to a minimum. Think about it, everyone calls it the graveyard branch. Once you go there, you never come back. They just wait for you to retire or quit, whichever comes first.
Yes, that's exactly what sort of place it is, which is why all the other main office employees who were bitter that despite my age and lack of a college education, I was on a first-name basis with the president, were so happy when I was transferred there. For them, this was a sign that their constant hazing, bullying, and harassment had finally paid off. I can imagine their shock when I became the first employee in the company's history to return to the main office from the graveyard branch.
How? What sort of trick did you pull to make that happen?
It's true that the Fieldsburg branch has been treated as the end of the line for tenured employees that the company doesn't know what to do with, and that reputation is precisely why I was sent over there. The board of directors has been working on a plan to turn the Fieldsburg branch from a liability to an asset for years, and they came up with the idea to send me over there to work on ongoing employee training and working environment improvement. It took a lot of time and effort, but after a few months, I managed to finally make some tangible, positive changes there. And when I say a lot of effort, I mean a lot of effort. So much so that by the end of my time there, I was so exhausted that I ended up having a health episode that took me 3 whole weeks to recover from. So, while my return was delayed by that slightly, I finally succeeded in my mission and have made my pre-planned return to the main office.
But I didn't hear anything about that initiative.
Oh, and by the way, when I came back to work, the company president made a special request of me.
From the president himself?
First, it was to find out whether the rumors of you having an affair with the former HR director were true, and once that was confirmed, to investigate whether your mysteriously rapid rise through the ranks to senior manager was a result of that affair. And now that my investigation on both points has been completed and my report submitted, the two of you have each received your well-earned punishments.
Oh, this can't be happening. Are you saying that you've been watching me ever since you came back to the main office?
That's precisely what I'm saying, yes.
I had no idea.
And with that, I've said all I had to say, and since you seem to have finally come to understand the situation, I'll go ahead and take my leave here. Enjoy the rest of your day, Ms. Butler.
Wait, but this means that it's now public knowledge that I was cheating on my husband. Oh no. Oh, this is bad. Oh, very bad. What am I gonna do if my husband finds out? Oh, you're not gonna tell him, are you? Travis? Travis!
Ms. Butler's behavior was utterly shocking for a married woman. Naturally, both Ms. Butler and the former HR director were divorced by their respective spouses, and they broke off their relationship as well. Also, since they had kept their illicit affair going for around 5 years, their spouses were awarded tremendous damages during the divorce proceedings. Furthermore, since the two of them were fired for cause, they both lost their pensions. Combined with the child support payments they now had to pay to their spouses as a result of losing custody of their children, they both had to take on a tremendous amount of debt. Word of their actions spread through the region, making it impossible for either of them to find a new job at the same pay grade they were at before. They had no choice but to take hourly wage positions at local businesses. This was the event that sparked the great spring cleaning of the company by the father of my fiancée, the company's president. What's more, he's been telling me lately that he wants to pass the reins of the company on to me after he retires. It really is an honor to have him think so highly of me. I had nothing when he brought me into the company, and now I have a home, a family, and a future secured, all thanks to him. I intend to work as hard as I can to live up to his high expectations.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Excuse me, Christina, but just what do you think you're doing? I just saw you walking out of the office. Are you leaving already? Oh, hello there, Miss Carlisle. I hope you had a productive day so far. Yes, I took care of all the work I was assigned for today, so seeing as it's 5 o'clock, I have nothing left to do. I was just about to clock out and head home. Why do you ask? You think you have the right to just walk out of the office right away at 5? Yes, I do. I don't have anything else on my plate for today, so yeah, I'm going home. Hold it right there, Christina. You're not done yet. What about the data I told you to take care of earlier this morning? What happened with that? Are you referring to the materials you asked me to produce to be used in the presentation for the Slock Spring Industries project? Yes, obviously. I explicitly told you to have that on my desk by no later than 3 o'clock, but I don't see it anywhere. I took care of all that before lunch. You should be able to find the data in the shared folder on the company's server. What? I spoke to you in person before I went on my lunch break, letting you know it was done, and you looked me in the eyes, nodded, and said, "Thank you." Also, just to make sure, I sent you a message through the company's chat system after I finished my lunch break, and once again you told me, "Thanks, got it." You did? Oh, well, that's strange. I don't remember that at all. From the sound of things, I presume you're still at the office, correct? If you could go to your chat window, I believe you'll find all the relative messages in my tab, as well as the file containing the data you asked me for. Oh, there it is. I guess I must have overlooked it. Oh, so you managed to find it? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well then, if there's nothing else, I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening, Mrs. Carlisle. Hey, we're not finished yet. We're not? I was fairly certain I had addressed all of your concerns. Is there anything else? Well, you may be finished, but I'm not. And I've been with this company for far longer than you have. What gives you the right to go home when I still have work left to do? You should be staying behind to help me finish my work. I'm quite certain that using seniority as leverage to force junior employees to stay beyond their contracted hours is a clear violation of the employee harassment policy that our parent company sent out to all its child companies. How dare you talk back to me! Additionally, they also sent out a memo encouraging efficient work procedures to eliminate the need for employees to do overtime as part of our cost-cutting measures. So, in just this conversation alone, you have violated both the letter and spirit of both corporate policies. If I may be so bold, I would recommend that you cease behaving this way toward not only me, but all of the other employees in the office. Not only are you contributing to a negative work environment, but if these violations were made known to your quarterly review committee, it would have a serious negative effect on your evaluation. That's just my 2 cents, though. Do with it what you will. What is wrong with you? Who do you think you are bringing up those stupid corporate policies to me? Just because you were transferred here from our parent company doesn't mean you're any better than me, and don't you forget that. I'm sorry, did I give off the impression that I thought I was better than you? Either that, or you're just a goody two-shoes and a suck-up to the corporate bosses. I see. Well, I had no intentions of coming off that way, so if that's how I sounded, then I apologize. And seriously, you're in no position to be giving me lectures about corporate memos or whatever. I'm not? No, you're not. Maybe if you were actually someone who mattered to this company, then I might pay a little bit more heed to your tirade right now. Look, I don't know how badly you had to mess up to be transferred here from our parent company, but the second you walked in that door, your experience there completely vanished. Poof, gone. It doesn't mean a thing here. You're no different than any other newbie, low-level employee we hire fresh out of college. I am your superior, and you will do what I say when I say. For the record, I'm not at liberty to discuss all the details yet, but my transfer here from the corporate office wasn't a punitive transfer. Oh, sure, of course. You're actually a super-duper important person on a big mission. Yeah, right, no one believes you. It's okay, it happens. They took a big chance on you and you completely failed to live up to their expectations, so they're chucking you somewhere that you can't do too much damage. Just admit it. By the way, if you're done with questions for me, would you mind if I asked you something? What now? Didn't you say you were working overtime right now? Huh? Yeah, I was, but I'm just about to leave. Why? I'm fairly sure that the materials for the Slock Spring Industries project presentation were supposed to be submitted to the department manager first thing tomorrow morning. What? Wait, I thought those weren't due until Friday. I should still have another day to get them finished. Tomorrow is Friday, Miss Carlyle. It is? Are you aware of what day it is today? Well, let's see. Yesterday was Tuesday, I think. I'm sorry, but yesterday was Wednesday, today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. Thus, the materials need to be ready by tomorrow morning, as I was saying. Oh, no. Oh, this is terrible. What am I going to do? Well, whatever it is you're going to do, I believe engaging in such a long text conversation about irrelevant matters is a less than efficient use of your time. You little! Why didn't you tell me it was Thursday? That's what calendars are for. There's nothing in my contract that states I have any responsibility to inform you of what day it is. Christina, where are you right now? Good afternoon, Miss Carlyle. I hope you had a pleasant morning. I was just in the middle of eating lunch in the employee cafeteria. Why do you ask? You're doing what? And where? What makes you think you have the right to use the employee cafeteria? The fact that I'm an employee of this company isn't enough. My contract clearly states that I have the ability to purchase lunch from the employee cafeteria if I so choose. Oh, you cannot be serious. All the other employees here were hired by the company directly for their talent. You, on the other hand, were sent here from the parent company because of your lack of talent. We're not the same, and don't think for 1 second you're on our level. Plus, if you've got enough free time to eat lunch, then you should be working. It's 12:45 right now, and my lunch break lasts until 1 o'clock. Were you not paying attention just now? Lunch breaks are for employees who matter. You do not. I don't want to see you doing anything that doesn't involve making money for this company. You can eat after work. Malnourishment on the job doesn't only result in decreased productivity as the day drags on, it can also lead to health episodes resulting in missed work, further reducing company efficiency. Again, with the back-talking! In addition to common human knowledge that people are much less efficient when working on an empty stomach, there are multiple studies showing that elimination of lunch breaks in favor of working reduces productivity by more than is gained by the additional hour of work during the day. What are you? And most importantly, my contract says I have a 1-hour lunch break from 12 to 1. I won't allow you, or anyone else for that matter, to take my lunch break from me. Now, I'm in the middle of a delicious meal, so if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get back to eating. The chicken soup they're serving today is quite good. I would recommend you giving it a try on your lunch break. I have had it up to here with your insubordination. I'm coming right over there to teach you a lesson in this company's hierarchy. I hope you're ready for what happens next. Well, Christina, how does it feel? Have you managed to wash all that egg out of your hair yet? Hello, Miss Carlisle. I hope your afternoon is going better than mine is. Since I have you, can I ask you to explain your actions just now? Oh my God, you still don't get it? I can't think of anything I've done to you to merit having a raw egg thrown at me. I guess you really don't get it then. I bet you still don't understand that you're here because you're a useless flunky either. Is this what got you transferred? Your complete failure to respect your superiors? I still don't understand what is so inappropriate about taking a break during my break time. I am a company employee, so I have every right to use the employee cafeteria. I just told you! You barely even count as an employee of this company. You were sent here because you failed. You don't get to eat in the employee cafeteria, and you don't get breaks. Get back to work. I told you before, my transfer here wasn't punitive. And I told you before, no one believes that story. Now stop wasting the company's time and money and get back to work. I was in the middle of my lunch break. It was my time. You want to eat? Fine. You can wring the raw egg out of your hair into a bowl and drink that. I took the afternoon off, so I'm going home. What? I'm going to have to take a shower to clean up all this egg from my hair, and I'll need to put my clothes in the laundry before they smell like rotten eggs. I obviously can't work like this, so the manager told me I was free to leave. What about the presentation materials for the Edisburg project that I told you to make today? From what I understand, making those materials was originally your responsibility. I don't see why you can't simply do your own work for yourself. But if I can't get you to do them for me, there's no way I'll be able to finish them in time. Christina, you've got some explaining to do. What's the meaning of this? Why am I being suspended without pay? Do you really need me to explain exactly what you did to deserve that relatively light punishment? Yes! Now explain what's going on right now. Wow, Mrs. Carlisle, I am genuinely surprised at your lack of self-awareness. Just what do you mean by that? You threw a raw egg at me in the cafeteria last week. Yeah, and what's the big deal with that? I don't deserve suspension for that. The employee cafeteria was quite busy at that time, which means there were a lot of witnesses. You had quite a few people register complaints with HR about you that day. What? Those pathetic losers went and tattled on me? Why? All I did was teach a snobby, stuck-up flunky like you your place. You obviously don't know how things work around here. Even if it weren't for what you did to me last week, you would still have been in quite a lot of trouble as things stood. After seeing your positively shameful behavior in the employee cafeteria, dozens of your coworkers have come forward with complaints about a serious pattern of harassment and abuse by you. Oh, they're just being dramatic babies. Is that so? Well then, let me read you a summary of their contents. It seems that for quite some time, you've been using your position of seniority to abuse, harass, coerce, and threaten junior colleagues. In particular, you apparently have a penchant for pushing off work that you should be doing onto them, typically involving threats to their career prospects or direct physical violence. I'm still waiting for what the problem is. That's just the benefit that comes with seniority. I have every right to use my position to get those children to work for me, and that goes for you, too. It does? You're going to have to explain that to me. Obviously, you failed so hard at our parent company that they threw you out like last week's trash. You're lower than even the new hires we took on last week. You're nothing. You don't deserve to be paid for your work here. You should be paying the company for putting up with you. Listen, Miss Carlisle, I have tried to tell you this multiple times before today, but you just haven't been listening, apparently. For the last time, my transfer here was not punitive. Here you go again with that same old story. If you would simply listen to what I'm telling you, I wouldn't have to say it over and over again like this. You sure think you're hot stuff, huh, Christina? I mean, what is it with this attitude of yours? You act like you're some sort of corporate policy enforcement officer or something. As if you're actually valuable enough to do that kind of work. I am the corporate policy enforcement officer. Huh? You are? Well, in a way, yes. Officially, your parent company is sending me out to all their child companies to promote employee education systems. But I actually have one more responsibility in addition to that. And that responsibility is to serve as a corporate compliance auditor. A what? I'm not the only one either. There are a number of our child companies which have, as of yet, been unable to meet our cost-cutting goals, and auditors like me have been sent to all of them. And the result of my audit of this company is not good, to say the least. In particular, many of the issues I've discovered center around you, Mrs. Carlisle. You've been with the company for over 20 years now, and you've been taking advantage of that long history in a number of illicit ways. Specifically, you've been pushing off your own work onto more junior employees while you do, well, not much of anything. Even in the company's busiest season, you do multiple hours of overtime every night, but without any noteworthy accomplishments to show for it. Meanwhile, the people you push your work onto actually end up having to rack up hours of overtime that could have been avoided if you had simply done your own work. Do you have any idea how much money you specifically have cost the company by producing all this pointless overtime? You're a total slimeball, Christina! How could you go around spying on me like this, lying about who you really are and what you're really doing? That's just not fair! Well, if I were to come out my first day and say, "Hello everyone, I'm a corporate compliance auditor and I'm here to inspect your company," I don't think that would be very helpful to my mission. I suppose you could consider me as something of an undercover agent. Undercover operations are often the only way to uncover wrongdoing, so I don't feel as though I've done anything unfair. But, I mean, if you'll excuse me, I still have an enormous amount of work to get back to. Hey! If you have any further questions about your punishment, you may direct them to your immediate superior at your company. Hold on just one moment, Christina. If you're really with corporate, then you can do something about this, right? You can use your position to stop me from getting suspended, can't you? I'm afraid I can't. Oh, please, Christina, you've got to help me. I'll do anything. My assignment was to serve as an auditor, and my mission in your company has completed. It's actually not in my authority to do anything about your punishment at all. Then what am I supposed to do now? I suppose there's only one thing you can do. Wait patiently for the disciplinary committee to reach their decision on your final punishment. It shouldn't take very long, considering the amount of evidence I provided them with. I can't believe this. Enjoy the rest of your day. After that, while Mrs. Carlisle was able to avoid being fired, she was still sued by two of the junior employees she'd been harassing. And when she couldn't bear the shame of working with the people she was making monthly lawsuit settlement payments to, she quit voluntarily. It seems she's having a difficult time finding a new job. I hope for her sake that she finds something soon, however, because those settlement payments must be having an impact on her finances. As a result of my audit, the leadership structure at that company was given a massive shakeup. We've also brought in skilled technicians for new employee training. And with that, my time as an auditor has come to an end. I still have 3 months left on my assignment here, and when that's finished, I'll be in the running for a promotion. I hope to use my experience here in order to make all of our group companies more efficient and provide our employees with positive working environments.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.